We are back. This is actually the second time I'm recording this because there's been a bit of an update actually with one of the games, so I want to redo the whole thing. So this is sort of, I guess, a bit of a updated video to one that I did about a year ago, talking about some of the expensive games I have in my collection, primarily for Switch. I do have an honorable mention for PS5, and we'll get to that towards the end. And that's the update portion. But I have the games sort of laid out in different sort of categories. So stuff that I bought directly from the publisher or developer, stuff that I bought off of Amazon, eBay, Best Buy, stuff like that, basically. So we'll actually start off with the one of the bigger categories, which is Amazon. Actually, I don't buy a lot of Switch games off of Amazon. I do have some more in my collection behind me that I believe I bought off of Amazon, but most of them weren't hyper expensive like what we're going to get into now. But the first game, which was actually one of the very first Switch games I bought back in 2023. Yeah. This is a game that I've talked about before, where for me to start buying and collecting video games for a specific platform, be that DS or Switch or PS5, PS3, 360, anything like that, I have to have the hardware to play them. Good example, Pokemon White for DS. This is actually the Japanese version, because the North American version is like a $200 cartridge, or pretty close to that. So ended up going with the Japanese one there. But that's besides the point. This game, like I said, I've talked about before. And it's sort of a game that I kind of regret not buying prior to me buying my Switch. So this game originally came out in, I think it was um, 2020, I think it was, or 2019. 2020, so about 6 years ago. Well, actually, almost 6 years ago. It was released September 18th of 2020. And it was limited. It was available from September 18th of 2020 till March 31st of 2021. So then it was discontinued and removed from the Nintendo eShop. So problem is, I didn't buy my Switch until July of 2023. And I knew this game existed. Problem is, it was expensive. Well more than... I ended up paying well more than what it was at retail. For this game, which is 3 games, Super Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy, I paid basically $208 for it. So it is the most expensive Switch game, and actually, to date, the most expensive game I actually own in my collection. I do enjoy having it in the collection. I don't play it that often just because of the price of it. Yeah. And ironically, it doesn't trade in for much. It's only like a $30 trade, which is ridiculous. You're spending well over $100 just to get $30 of trade value for it. Kind of ridiculous. So, very fun one to have in said collection. The next one would be a couple visual novels, which again, I typically don't buy visual novels off of Amazon, primarily for Switch. I do that through Video Games Plus or PlayAsia. Typically PlayAsia, because they could be import exclusives and it's a bit more of a pain in the backside to get them anywhere else. But I ended up knowing about these games existing from another video. And these games are available via Amazon and eBay. I went through Amazon at the time, and I'm kind of glad I did, even though I waited about a month for them. So I ordered them November 9th of 2024, and they didn't arrive until December, right around, like, almost close to the holidays, because at the time, our mail service for where I live decided to say, screw you, we're going on strike. And it lasted basically 3 weeks. So, and I had this in order at the time, and I'm like, God damn it. And you might be wondering, like, couldn't you have asked the shipping company to ship it a different way, the seller to ship it a different way? I tried that, and Amazon basically said, hey, you can't do that. So I was stuck until they arrived. And they were not cheap. They're about $70 games each. So these two visual novels, Food Girls and Food Girls 2 Civil War, were $158.14 total. And typically I only buy one and then I would hunt down the other. But in this case I made an exception because of how hard they are to find and kind of expensive. Like I said, they're about $70 games each. So again, super happy to have them in the collection. We did do a first sort of playthrough one-off video with the first game, I would say about a year or so ago. So again, very fun one to have in the collection. The next one that we have on the list here is Final Fantasy 1-6 Pixel Remaster for Switch. At one point, I had 2 copies of this. One for PS4, one for Switch. I ended up getting rid of my PS4 copy just because I needed some stuff to trade in to lower the price for Switch 2. I knew I wasn't really going to be playing the PS4 copy, so, and I still wanted to hang on to my Switch copy. And at the time, so right now, this game on Amazon is about an $80 game. But I did not pay $80 for this game. I ended up paying about $70 for it at the time of the order. Again, one that I don't really play that often, but it's one that I like to have sort of in the collection. It is kind of I've not really seen many copies for Switch. I've seen a lot more PS4 copies floating around. I haven't really seen a lot of Switch copies. So to finally have it in the collection for Switch makes me happy. Then we go to another visual novel, and this is actually one of my more expensive visual novels. And realistically, I don't understand why it's expensive as it is. The only reason why I can think that it is expensive as it is because it was distributed by Limited Run. You can get it, each game individually, on Nintendo's eShop still, but to get it as the single package, meaning both games on one cartridge, it is kind of hard to get a hold of. Right now, you're looking at well over $100. So I bought it still over $100, but right now you're paying well over it. You're paying about $111 for it. I paid $106 for it, and that included shipping. And typically, it should have been free shipping, but unfortunately, since it was being sold by basically a third party, I had to pay shipping, unfortunately. Yeah, this one I actually haven't played yet. I have a lot of visual novels in the collection behind me and more to come. But this is sort of a hard one to get a hold of physically. I don't know how many copies Limited Run distributed, but it's a fun one to have in the collection. A little bit obscure. Then we go to one of my more recent, almost recent Amazon orders. So this was July of last year, and I have known about this series for quite a while. And there is the third game coming out, I think, in September, I would like to say. Yes. September. For both PS5 and Switch. And you might be wondering, like, which one are you going to get? I'm going to get both. Because I have the Switch version right here. This is actually the European version. This one actually came via who did it come via by? I think it was like it came by like whatever the equivalent of the German post service is. Like Dutch Post, I think it was. And it wasn't too badly priced because the game individually, so if we look here, just for the first game, just for the first game alone, you're granted this is the Japanese version, but it should play in English. You're looking at like $150, just over $150. Ah, here it is. Yeah, you're looking at about $70 just for the first game, and then if you want if you want episode 2, Hibiscus and Butterfly, you're looking at, well, Amazon doesn't even have any copies available at the moment. Yeah. So you're looking at probably around the same price, so about $70. So I ended up going down the route of getting the double pack from Germany, but through Amazon Canada, for just a little bit over $60. So for both games with the soundtrack for both games, I actually have 4 copies. I have 2 of each, meaning I have one from this version, and then I have the ones for the PS5 version. So yeah, super happy to have this in the collection. A little bit obscure because you don't really see the double pack that often. So those are all of the ones that I've grabbed recently within the last year or two. More of the expensive-ish games that I bought off of Amazon. Next we'll do super rare games because this is going to be quick. So I have Monster Camp XL, well, Double XL, and Monster Road Trip Double XL. So these are numbers 107 and 108 in that collection. They were a double pack, so you had to buy one to get the other. You couldn't buy them individually. You can, I believe, get them digitally. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't fully taken a look. And they are kind of expensive because I had to pay import on top. So all of the games coming up, except for one, I have had to pay some sort of import on. These, I think the import for these were like 20 or 30 bucks, so kind of expensive. I can't remember what I paid for them total, but I would like to say around 100 bucks. Again, I cannot remember exact price of these two. You can still get them from Super Rare Games. They do have a little bit of stock left, but be mindful if you want them. Then we'll jump over to Best Buy. This one's a little bit of a weird one in a couple different ways, because I have very rarely seen the Heritage Pack, which has 7 classic games on it. I've seen it in a few different formats, like a few games bundled together, but not as one bundle like this. This one was a little bit of a strange one, because, like I said, it was bundled like this. Ooh. And at the time when I bought this, I walked into Best Buy, my local Best Buy, which isn't really that local. It's like 30 minutes away. Not really looking for anything. I did see this, and I was like, oh, great. And I think it was like 30 or 40 bucks or something like that. Maybe 50 at most. I'd like to say 50 at most. But unfortunately, they didn't have any in stock that day. Because it was literally like a case that you took up and you would exchange it for the one that has the game in it. They said, unfortunately, we don't have any in stock, but we have a couple ideas. We could get one ordered, shipped to the store, or we could ship it to your house. I'm like, ship it to my house, because I had no idea when I'd be back and stuff like that. So, yeah, so I did finally grab this. And yes, I did finally get a Switch 2 case. That was a very, very close call. So I ordered that on Monday, so last Monday, basically a week today. Yeah, I ordered it on the 14th, so yeah, well, a week tomorrow, actually. I ordered it on Tuesday. And Wait, when did I actually order it? Did I order it Monday or did I order it Tuesday? Ordered. Yeah, I ordered it. Yeah, I ordered it a week today, and it was delivered on the 15th. So literally a day before I left for my mini trip, and it arrived. So super super happy. Um, it did ship out the day before, so meaning I bought it on the Monday. It shipped out late Tuesday and arrived on the Wednesday. So super super happy. Now we'll get into the eBay order. I only have one that was very expensive from eBay, and it was actually a little bit more expensive than I thought. Because again, this is a very hard to find game. It is available, but it is over $100 game. Like right now, from someone on eBay, they're selling it right now for about better part about close to $80, a little bit over $80. That's including shipping. So it is kind of a hard one to find. It does play in English. But be prepared, you will have to pay import, which is, in a lot of cases, the killer for a lot of people, myself included. I hate having to pay import on a lot of things. More specifically, I hate paying shipping. Oh my god. I'm sorry if you can hear stuff like shifting. I have an HDMI switch that's sort of lifting. It's not sitting flat, so things are moving. I have to fix that. Yeah, so this ended up being about over $100. I think it was like 110. I'd like to say. Let me actually get the exact number for you here. Is it this list here? I hope it is. Yeah. So next, yeah. So like I said, I think it was like around $100 or something like that. Yeah. So while that's loading, I can grab the next stack, which is 6 games from PlayAsia. Some of these games are still available, and others are no longer available to buy from PlayAsia. Wow, this list is taking a long time to load. Okay, while we wait for that, while I wait for that, I can do all the PlayAsia stuff. So, one of the games that I have that I'm going to show sort of kickstarted the whole import buying and stuff like that for me, because this game was originally slated for a North American release, but unfortunately due to changes in Nintendo's policies and stuff like that, it got basically canned, meaning no longer available to buy a North American version. You can still get it from PlayAsia. It is still available, and it's actually slightly cheaper than what I paid for it. So I paid about $60 for it in 2024/2025 because I ordered this on Christmas. I ordered a few of these games on Christmas. So the list finally pulled up. So at the end of it, this game ended up being close to $111 at the end of it. That included the import. And the heritage was about 60, because I I did put that down. Yeah, so that game being Tokyo Clampool is the game that is basically blacklisted. And you might be wondering, like, oh, do you think you'll ever play it? If I ever do play it on the channel, it is going to be one of a handful of games that I have to age restrict. Um, so, unfortunately, I hate having to age restrict games and stuff like that. I really do hate it, but what I might end up doing is first running through the game normally. If there is an issue later, then I might have to age restrict it, but we'll see what happens. But it's sort of a weird game. It's what is it actually? Some of these games so it's a dungeon RPG. Okay, because I buy so many different games in so many different genres that it's hard to keep track of what game is in what genre, because there are some games I have that are in two different genres. So this is a dungeon RPG type of thing. Really fun game, actually. Haven't really put a lot of time into it. Next we have Death Smiles, which, if you remember this game, this was a 360 game back in the day, which I'm still trying to hunt down a North American copy of each game, because there was two games, Death Smiles 1, Death Smiles 2. This is both on one cartridge. So yeah, super happy I have this finally in the collection. Not in the form that I would like it. I would like it obviously on 360, but beggars can't be choosy. So I'm happy that I have this in the collection on Switch at least. And it wasn't terribly expensive. It was like just over $60. Yeah, okay. There is a Japanese version as well. But that version is a lot more expensive. The Japanese version is basically like close to $100. The cover art is actually the same. Actually, yeah, cover art is the same. Thought there might have been a slight difference, but this is actually the cheaper way to get it. And it plays in English. Yeah, so super happy to finally have this in the collection. The other one that I do want to talk about is nope, not that order. Is it this order? Yes, this order. Is this. This is Okami. This is the HD remaster. And surprisingly, a physical import exclusive. You cannot get it anywhere else. You can't get it at Best Buy, Target, Walmart, GameStop, anything like that. You have to import it. And it's not super expensive. It's just a little bit over $30 right now as of recording. I paid about $36 for it. And this was actually an order that I actually had to pay import on, because there are a few other games in this order that I had that are kind of hard to find, which was Shantae Half Genie Hero Ultimate Edition and Shantae and the Seven Sirens. I sort of wanted them a little bit quicker, so I paid a little bit more for shipping at the time. And it still took almost a month for them to arrive. So I ordered these on the 29th of January of last year. They arrived on the 13th of February of last year. So we have played this on the channel. We haven't played the other two games, actually. There's actually 4 games in that order. There was the 2 Shantae games, Okami, and House Flipper for Switch, which I have as well still up in the shelf behind me. The last 3 games, one of them is actually the newer one of the newer games that I ordered. So we have a couple more, we have 3 more visual novels, and then we'll get on to the update for one of the games that I have ordered, which was a game that I ordered last year, which is a bit of a mess. So the first one is Nightshade. Again, very, very highly rated, well reviewed, well recommended. And there are a few times where I do like to buy games before they really, really jump in price. These 3 games are some of those games. This visual novel is not cheap, by the way. Physically, like it's over $80. I don't know if you can get it digitally. Which you can actually. And it's about just over $60. They're calling it a narrative adventure. It's basically a visual novel. But yeah, it is not a cheap visual novel to get either way. You're paying well over $60 to $80. This is still, actually, this is the one that is completely sold out from Play Asia. I knew I had one in the collection, or out of the games that I pulled, that was sold out, and this was that game. You cannot get this game anymore, at least physically. So super happy to have this in the collection. I'm not sure. Yeah, no, it's not reversible artwork or any like sort of manuals or whatever. Then we come to another. This is actually one of my more expensive visual novels. And yes, this is still available to get. And there is a sequel. There is a sequel for it. I'm just checking to make sure both versions have, yes. So both versions of the sequel do have English, so it doesn't really matter which one you get. And that is Steam Prison. This one is expensive. This one right now is actually a little bit less than what I paid for it about a year ago. So this right now is about $94 roughly, so $95.33. So if you want a round number, $94. I paid basically $100, just over $100 for it. So I don't think we played this on the channel. I can't remember. We might have. I can't remember. But again, really fun one to have in the collection. A little bit obscure. But yeah, if there's any game in this collection that you want me to play more of, if we had already played it, or something new, let me know. Drop a comment down below, and if I have it, I'll play it. Like I said, Steam Prison does have a sequel called Steam Prison Beyond the Steam. Both versions, like I said, have English. It's about $60 for the sequel right now, so not terrible. Then we come to this one. Was a bit of a problem to get, so I ordered this in June 29th of last year, and it didn't come until August, unfortunately. Because when I ordered this game, or visual novel, should I say, was out of stock. It is currently in stock in both versions, meaning the Japanese version and the Asian version. If you do want it, you want it in English, get the Asian version. The Japanese version does not have English. And it is only available in in the standard edition. You can't get the limited edition anymore in the Japanese version. This is an expensive one. It's actually less now than what I paid for it last year. So when I bought it, it was with shipping and everything included. It was about $95. Right now, it's around $80. So $10 off basically of what I paid for it. And you might be wondering, why did it take so long to arrive? So this one actually arrived via Singapore, because I had emailed them about a couple weeks, actually about a month after I did the order. So like I said, I ordered it in June. It came in August. So I think I emailed them mid-July just to sort of get a bit of an update, because typically they would send you an email to say, hey, your package has been shipped. It should arrive this time, give you tracking and all that. And they didn't do this with that game. And so I sent them an email just to say, hey, just curious, what is the status of this order? Gave the order number. And they basically said, hey, sorry, it's currently sold out. We're trying to source another copy for you from a different retailer. And there was also some other stuff going on that they have had some issues with, which are now sorted. And you might be wondering, oh, what were those issues? I do know what they were, but they had some technical issues, shall we say. So yeah, which not the best. So it did take some time to get a hold of, obviously, because of all the game being sold out and the issues and stuff like that. And this game, like I said, is still available. You can get it digitally if you want to go down that route. You can. And that is a piece of Blue Moon Glass. This is, again, very highly rated, well sought after, very hard to find. So, yeah, we might end up doing this at some point in the not so distant future. Now we get into the update on one of those games. And that is my limited run release of the sequel to High on Life. I didn't I didn't order this directly from Limited Run. I ordered this from Video Games Plus in August of last year, August 20th, and it was, I think it was around like an $80 game, which is kind of ridiculous. I think it was like $80 or something like that. What was it exactly? Nope, wasn't that order. Yeah, it was $85.86. Because I had to pay shipping and then there's all the other tax on top. So this is basically an $80 game now. Has all the DLC, has everything. The same day that I ordered this, I ordered the sequel from Limited Run because the PS5 versions were limited to 2,000 copies. I don't know why 2,000 copies. It's not part of the numbered releases. I don't know why they ended up doing only 2,000 copies. Maybe because they knew that they weren't going to sell out, or they might be a bit more popular. Who knows? I don't know. So I ordered this, like I said, August 20th of last year. And it was not cheap. It was $81.35 US. So at the time of the order, it ended up being about $120. Excuse me. About $120 Canadian. So that included taxes, duties, shipping, everything. It was about a $120 game. And it was supposed to be shipped end of January. Yeah, it wasn't until March, mid-March, I saw a report basically talking about Limited Run and sort of their issues and stuff like that they've had. And basically poor quality control on some of the collector's editions and couldn't keep to deadlines that they had set. And so stuff ended up getting delayed and pushed and whatnot. Yeah. So, my copy just, and I mean just, got shipped out today. It got shipped out at like, I think it got shipped out at like, I would like to say it got shipped out at like 1 o'clock or something like that. Yeah, it got shipped out just today at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And you might be wondering, okay, great, when do you think it'll arrive? So, if I know Limited Run, and it is coming via DHL, which means I'll probably have to pay a little bit of shipping or import, maybe, because it's DHL, but I haven't had to do anything from import wise from Limited Run, but we'll see what happens. I don't think it'll be too bad. If I do have to, it might be like $10 or so, which is fine. I do have the budget for it. But I should, in theory, have it by the end of the month. And you might be wondering, like, oh, are you looking at any of the other games that they have coming up? Or I am actually, which is kind of weird for me to say that, considering I've had so much crap to say about Limited Run with how long this has been taking. It shouldn't have taken this long to ship out a damn game. But the game that I am waiting for, and I might still end up jump on if I can budget-wise next month, because I do end up working next month, is Bloodstained Ritual of the Night Complete Edition, which means it has all of the content on cartridge. So yeah, so the Switch version is DRM free, so it doesn't have any of the crap on it. But the PS4 version should. So for one of the DLCs, the PS4 version is a code, unfortunately, for one of the DLCs. But other than that, everything should be the same. But like I said, I am looking at that right now. It's not too badly priced. It's like a $40 game. So yeah. So I am looking, but yeah. So anyways, adios.